Hi everybody, how are you? It's Mike Andrew once again providing a short video with practical insights as it applies to business and leadership. Humility and integrity. Humility and integrity. That's the focus. Now I've talked about these in the past, but I'm going to frame it a little bit differently because I think these two attributes, humility and integrity, are the cornerstones or the foundations of truly effective leaders. It will make one effective in leadership, and I believe, certainly in life, integrity and humility. I always say when I define leadership that leadership is about someone who consistently achieves results while building the capability of his or her organization to prepare for the future, while demonstrating humility and integrity. You know, there's so many, what leadership is not about, in my opinion, is competencies. There's so many competencies. I've dealt with so many leadership consulting firms. They all have their well-researched dictionary, they call it, of leadership competencies. It's like 150 to 200 competencies in their dictionary. And they pick out what they think are the best competencies for a certain company. You know, and I've never really been convinced that someone who excels in certain leadership competencies, that equates to career success. But humility and integrity will, as well as achieving results. So, you know, competencies have their place. They provide an objective, consistent way to measure and compare people. That's okay. But to me, I'm not convinced that it equates to career success. Whereas integrity, humility, and achieving results will. I like Warren Buffett once said that he looks for three things in his people: intelligence, energy, and integrity. And if they don't have the last one, forget about the other two. And let's talk about humility for a second. The complete opposite of ego and arrogance. Who wants to work for a manager that's arrogant? What manager wants an employee reporting to him or her that's arrogant? What CEO wants a senior vice president that's arrogant? Arrogance, by the way, is a proven, well-documented, well-researched corporate derailer. It will derail people right off the leadership track. It often does, especially if they don't have the ability to manage it. I've seen it happen. I'm sure you have too. There's a book here called The Greatest Leader He Ever Saw, a story of character-based leadership. In this book, there are 25 lessons on integrity, humility, and treating people with dignity. As a matter of fact, one of the main quotes in that book is humility, integrity, and treating people with dignity are the foundations of character-based leaders. So it's a short book. It's an interesting story of two main characters. I won't get into it, but if you're interested, I'll tell you all about it. Let me take a different twist on humility. I'll take a religious twist on it. If you look at two of the most significant people in human history, Jesus and the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon them both, they were perfect role models of humility. Jesus was known to wash the feet of the poorest of the poor. There's a story of one time he called a child over and said, "Whoever shall humble himself as this child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven." The Prophet Muhammad, when he was mingling with his companions, if someone walked in, they wouldn't know which one was the prophet. He would mingle right in. I understand from what I've learned, he didn't like the idea of people standing when they saw him or kneeling down when they saw him. Very humble. And by the way, I think these attributes of humility, integrity, I'll throw in compassion and empathy. To me, honestly, those are signs of strength. It takes strong character to demonstrate that. It takes weak character to demonstrate arrogance and ego. I really believe that. I always say that it takes a strong man to be a gentleman. Why? Because they have that inner confidence and security. So, humility, integrity, the cornerstones, foundation of leadership. That's the message for today. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.